And time now to get a little political. Time for Party Scoopers, or actually one scoop here today. Sam Rucker is joining us as we talk about everything that is going on in politics here in Central Iowa. But there's some other kind of political maneuvering going on right now. It sounds like you're going to be a couple here real soon. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, I did get engaged a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Jeff was kind enough to show a picture on the show, which was he immediately sent me the YouTube clip too. He's like, "You have to watch this." So. Yes, thanks for putting that up.
Well, congratulations.
And thank you for not TPing my apartment.
Oh, I know. I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh, he's out of town. Let's do it. Let's go. Because you're really close to us. But okay, so you made it back in time to enjoy some other events that were going on.
I did. I went to the Roast and Ride this weekend, which is kind of Joni Ernst's signature event now.
You went to the roast.
I went to the Roast and Ride. I've got some clients who, believe it or not, are nonpartisan, who just want to do some outreach to these candidates.
Right.
Yeah, in this case, it's with the rural electric cooperatives, where they just want to, have a presence there, shake candidates' hands. So I actually shook all 7 candidates' hands. Didn't argue with them at all.
Who had the best handshake?
The most firm handshake.
Well, I got a hug from Joni Ernst, so it's hard to top a hug.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
I don't think she knew who I was, but
if she only knew.
Yeah, but the event went pretty well. So the event was up in Boone at the Farm Progress Showgrounds, which is where the straw poll is going to be this year. So it was kind of a test run for using that venue for a political event like this.
Okay.
Obviously, it's the first time, so there were some bugs. It was looked like they were kind of setting up things last minute, but overall, I think it was pretty successful. She had 7 candidates there. They all spoke. So there's some B-roll of Joni. Obviously a great setting, very Iowan, I guess, if you're the national media and want a shot of
there's the hay bales.
Yeah. The idea was that they did a ride from Des Moines up to Boone. Scott Walker was the only candidate who actually rode with her. He's a big Harley guy. He actually, when he was county executive in Milwaukee County in Wisconsin, he did a whole annual
if you're
tour.
From Wisconsin,
you have to be.
You kind of have
with Harley right there.
Yeah. So the event was kind of tailor-made for him. I mean, he got up there in a Harley T-shirt and a Harley hat. Everybody else was a little dressier, pretty informal, but he was really kind of the everyman giving the speech up there. I thought Rick Perry also did really well. Rick Perry did his own ride from Perry, actually, to Boone for this, and it was a fundraiser for veterans. So that was kind of impressive that he was able to pull off his own event going to a bigger event, which was, I think, a good sign for Perry.
Was there a good turnout for that as well?
Yeah, I'm not sure what he had for his ride, but overall they had about 1,000 people at the event, which was pretty good. I'm not quite stake fry levels yet.
Not to be outdone, Mike Huckabee renamed Huxley Huckabee and rode from Huckabee. No, I'm just kidding.
So they tend to preach to the choir there, but did you hear anything you liked, or was it all things that scared you to death?
I wasn't on board with a lot of what they said, but I think Perry did. I would say Perry did the best job of kind of firing up the crowd. Obviously, he was kind of one of the newer candidates to announce. This was kind of his first big event in Iowa, and he had a really good speech. He ran out to the stage, very energetic, kind of a different Rick Perry than we've seen in the past.
Mm-hmm. So since you were at the event, what was the feeling when everyone kind of disappeared for a while and no one knew what was going on when there was a supposed
You honestly didn't notice it.
Bomb threat? You didn't notice it?
Yeah, they didn't say anything, and I think there were actually some candidates who seemed to still be around. They all had their booths handing out, koozies for your drinks and every other kind of campaign swag you could think of.
If you were there, you didn't really notice anything was going on?
No, you noticed an hour wait while it looked like it was going to rain, which thankfully it didn't, but you didn't really notice that there was any kind of security threat of any kind.
Okay.
But all in all, a success.
I would say so. I mean, obviously, I think they'll build on it and probably refine it and get better at it, but so far, I mean, I still think it's kind of an odd spot for the straw poll just because there's no infrastructure there. I mean, if it had rained at all, it would have been miserable because it was just kind of muddy and there was no place to take shelter. So if there's rain during a straw poll, it's going to be pretty awful.
Okay. So what else is coming up in the political world?
Well, on the Democratic side, we've got 2 candidates in the state this week. Martin O'Malley is in Iowa on Thursday. He's over in eastern Iowa, and he has an event in Marshalltown. He was in Des Moines right after he announced a couple weeks ago.
Right.
And then Bernie Sanders, who's actually been getting surprisingly good turnouts across the state. He's had some really well-attended events, especially in eastern Iowa. He's got a town hall this weekend at Drake, and then a couple other events around the state, too. So I think his campaign has been a little surprising, actually, because they have really been able to get these people to events. The Run Warren Run group, which was trying to convince Elizabeth Warren to run, even though she said a million times, I'm not going to do it. They've now disbanded.
They have?
Yeah, they announced last week that they're going to wrap it up.
Okay.
They think that they gave it their best shot and collected a lot of signatures. But it's not going to happen. So I think a lot of those supporters might be going over to Bernie Sanders. I think some of those staff who are doing that in Iowa will go over to his campaign. But obviously still a long shot when you're looking at Hillary Clinton and what she's done in the state already.
All right, so things starting to ramp up.
They are.
All right, we'll keep an eye on it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
It is 7:30. We'll be right back. You're watching Great Day.